So we have finished doing all our outlining, we finished doing our erasing. Now you are ready to start coloring. You are going to be using crayons. We can only use crayons for this project for the part we are coloring. We cannot use any other material. Now, we're only coloring in the things we drew. So you can kind of ask yourself, did I draw this cloud? If the answer is yes, then you color it in. Did I draw the sky? No, I didn't draw the sky, it's just there. So you do not color it in. So you color everything but the sky. When you're coloring in, you want to make sure that you color in nice and dark with the crayons. We are looking for the element of art called value to show up. You know the elements of art: line, shape, color, value, form, texture, and space. We are going to focus on value and color. Why color? Well, we're adding color. Value means how light or dark something is. We want to make sure that when we're coloring, we do not color in lightly. We don't want to color in soft and gently. We want our color to be nice and dark. This also can be called intensity. We want our color to be very intense, saturated with color. All these fancy art words are coming at you. So you can see here, I have colored in this section of the balloon very nice and dark with great intensity and saturation so that the value is nice and dark. You can see this area right here is not as dark and the color doesn't show up as wonderfully as it does here. So we want to make sure that when you color in nice and thick, dark with that crayon color so that the value shows up. You can see I can do this a bunch of different ways. I have colored in very nicely on both sides, but this little area is a little lighter and this one's a little darker, and that's okay. If I want to make them the same, then I work on that. So that is what you're going to be doing next. You're going to be coloring everything except for the sky. Later on, we're going to be painting our sky. We may or may not get to that today because we have a lot of things to color. Do not rush. Remember, you want to do your absolute best artwork so that everything you get from Square One Art is really, really good. You're getting that full sheet of stickers. You want to have a piece of art that you really like. Now that you've gotten everything colored, you can't forget to color those things that are supposed to be white, white. And that means get a white crayon. I check and make sure that all of my area that has color is colored in solidly. We don't want to see in those little white areas because they won't look good. When you are coloring, make sure that you color in solidly. That's going to be really important when it comes to our next step. And again, you can turn your paper all different ways. But I'm not rushing to get this white filled in. I'm doing a really nice, careful job, and I'm pressing down so it's filled in solidly. It's saturated with white. Now that you have finished coloring everything that needs to be colored, you're ready to start painting. We're going to use the watercolors. They are on the back counter. You have 12 different colors to choose from. You will have 2 of these for the table. You will share water cups. 2 people share 1 water cup. Again, 2 people share 1 water cup. And you will need a large paintbrush, which you will find in the container that says large paintbrushes. Remember, our counter is divided and you have the same things on both sides. So stay on your side of the counter. You are going to pick whatever colors you would like to use. Now, it's important to remember, if you pick a lot of colors to put on here, it's going to turn into a big old muddy mess. So you don't want to do that. I'm going to stick with just 1 color for my sky. And I think I'm going to stick with blue just to keep it simple. Remember, when you are using the watercolors, we got to wake this guy up. So we got to dip our paintbrush in the water. And then we don't want to get all the water out. We dip it in and we wake him up. Good morning, wake up. And you got to move them around. Sometimes they're grumpy, they stay asleep a little longer, and you got to add a little more water. Splash, splash, splash. Whoa, he is awake and raring to go. And we can tell because that little pool of water is there. If you did a good job with your wonderful coloring, when you paint, you will not have to worry if you accidentally paint over the top of something. Because you saw, I just painted accidentally over the top of that airplane, and I didn't have to worry because it didn't get messed up. That's the great thing about the crayon. Crayon does not like the paint, and paint does not like the crayon. We do the best job we can at staying off of it, but if it happens that we get on it, the crayon's not going to get messed up. When you start painting and you see that you're running out of paint, like your paintbrush starts looking rather odd, you want to dip it into the water first to get it wet, then dip it into the paint. This is again called watercolor. We need water to make this paint work. So when you are painting, make sure that you dip it back in the water before you dip it into the paint. You're painting right up to that black line at the top. If you accidentally get some paint on the clouds or the things that are white, the great thing is you remember to color it in white, so we don't have to worry about the thing getting messed up. The paint comes right off of it. You can see I wipe it right off and it is not messed up. So you're going to paint the whole picture, the whole sky, your color. So get going. Now, when we look closely at my picture, you're going to see that there's some spots that are light and some spots that are dark. This doesn't look that good when Square One actually puts it through the computer. So we want to try to make it a solid 1 color as possible. So that means that I have to go over it a second time to make it a nice even blue, taking my time, holding our pencil the paintbrush the right way like a pencil, my goodness, and going around everything. So we want 1 shade of blue.